So in this video, I want to talk about my experiences with coming out of the ideology of veganism. Now, as a disclaimer, I was never fully vegan. I always ate meat. I always ate eggs. I always ate fish, chicken, turkey. But I didn't eat a whole lot of it. And I definitely didn't eat red meat. And another disclaimer, I have lots of vegan and vegetarian friends. This is not, you know, something that I'm making to hurt you. I don't want to change you. But I'm just talking about my experiences and what I experienced being a part of this vegan community life. So, our food pyramid is basically vegan. You're always told to eat these grains, to eat your vegetables, and I'm just learning how dangerous it is to eat a vegan diet, which is grains and vegetables. It's a lot of sugar. The carbs end up turning into a lot of sugar, and it led me to a lot of health problems. So the reason that I even got close to veganism is because of the blood type diet. So I'm an A blood type, and we're just not supposed to eat meat according to this book. We're supposed to be the natural vegetarians, even though we're the second oldest blood type according to this book. So it's been about 17 years of me not eating a lot of red meat at all. And in fact, up until 2 months ago, I've never had a rare steak or a rare meat, period. And definitely not raw. So, that's where I'm coming from with that. I was briefly vegetarian in college my freshman year. I had a roommate from California, and we were vegetarian. And I can remember one time just going down to the, cafeteria in my dorm and just having to have some fish. And one of my vegetarian friends was with me, and she was like, no. And I was just like, "Argh." And she was like, oh, you did it. Like, yeah, I have to have it. There's something in me that's always known that I need meat, but I wasn't eating enough of it. So when I started the blood type diet, I immediately had some digestive issues, but I just kind of dismissed it. And then as the years progressed, I started having more and more symptoms that I dismissed and attributed to, I had mercury fillings. I'm detoxing. I'm just a little sleepy. I didn't get enough rest. I've had too much sugar lately. All of those things, I never attributed it to not eating enough meat. I never, and ingesting things that are poisonous like grains and plants. So I always had bloating, especially after eating vegan meals. I noticed just my stomach would just blow up, so uncomfortable and horrible. My periods were heavy. Since I've started eating a meat-based diet, it's just gotten so much better. I found it hard to focus as a, partial vegan. It was really hard to clean my apartment. It was really hard to focus on making videos. It was hard to organize myself mentally. Everything seemed harder. I was extremely fatigued. I would sit outside of a grocery store and just sit in my car just trying to build up the energy to go inside and shop. And I never thought, oh, I'm just not eating enough meat. No one ever tells you that. My muscles were weak. I found it really hard to work out. I found it hard to do squats because it would just make me just so winded and tired just from doing a little bit. And it was discouraging because I used to be able to do all of it with no problems. So there was just a lot of flabbiness where I just couldn't gain muscle. I was used to my body being really reactive to exercise, where I do yoga next week. I can see the results of what I did. And my body's just always been that way. But the last 2 years of this, partial veganism, I wasn't able to perform at the gym. I didn't want to work out because it was just so exhausting. It was just so hard to do it. Going up the stairs, it was just like, oh my God. And you think, oh, it's just because I'm fat. But no, it's probably nearly pre-diabetic. I'm sure I had some sort of adrenal problems. My blood sugar was probably up and down. And it's really hard to work out when you're probably damn near anemic and you feel like shit and you can't utilize your muscles. So I really just couldn't use my body. And I was just so unbelievably tired. And I had no idea. So I think also I had an adrenal problem. I developed this hyperpigmentation on my cheeks that I've dealt with for about 7 years. It's still there. It's just getting better and better. But I've narrowed it down to something called like Addison's disease. They related it to mercury fillings in one thing I read. But it's basically an autoimmune problem. Not enough meat. Not enough grass-fed meat. That was the problem. Of course, they won't ever tell you that. Other problems I had, I would get hungry really often. And I would get just extremely hungry and just feeling like just weak and just like crazy, skittish, just skitzed out, when I would get hungry. I'd get hungry every couple of hours, just really crash, it felt like. And then when I would get to a meal, I felt really just sort of apathetic about it. I would eat a couple of bites and then kind of get tired of it or feel really bloated and full, so I wouldn't want to eat that much. And then, because I didn't eat that much, I would get hungry really soon. So, just kind of a never-ending cycle with that. I had dizziness when I would stand up. Felt really faint. Feel like I would just, like the world would just feel like I did a whippet or something, just like, I did have chest pain, which is now gone. Just this tightness and pain in my chest. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I definitely had a lot of cavities. My skin was gray. I remember having like a spot on my chest and it wouldn't heal. And the minute I started eating meat, it just cleared right up. Eating a lot of meat. And I had blood in my urine. And I now know that that's caused by the raw spinach. All the oxalates just can't do it. So I had a lot of symptoms, and I never attributed that to what I was eating. So the way that I was led to all this information, and by the way, I took supplements. I'll show you a picture of all the supplements I took. I took a lot of supplements daily. And I would feel a little better here and there. I would say the only time I really felt the effects of a vitamin was this adrenal one I took. And it was made of like animal spleen and kidney. That was the only time I ever felt that a vitamin worked for me. So, but yeah, I'm a very spiritual person, and I can tap into a lot of energy, and I can make requests, and if I'm very lighthearted about it, I get what I want. So I just said, I want my face to be all the same color. And I was led on this, stream of inquiry. Started with My 600-Pound Life. I love that show. And the doctor would always prescribe to people a low carbohydrate diet, high protein. And they would lose all this weight. So, I'm like, all right. So then I started tracking what I was eating on this app called My Plate, and I noticed that my carbs were always way up there, and my protein was pretty low. So I realized, okay, I'm doing all the wrong things, and that's why I feel so crazy. So somehow between watching Amberlynn Reed videos and My 600-Pound Life, I somehow ended up on a guy's channel called Svedia. And he put a video up called Vegans, the Epitome of Malnutrition. And I watched that and I was just blown away. Because in my mind, I'd always thought vegans and vegetarians, they're healthy. They've got all this resolve and they're really the healthy ones. And I should be vegetarian. At the end there, I was even starting to think, gosh, I'm eating this, plate of chicken wings, and how many little chickens had to die for me to eat these wings right now. So it was really starting to get in my head, this ideology of veganism, even though I've always known that I need meat. And I've always loved meat. But it still managed to get to me. So, the big turning point was watching the ex-vegan stories. And one of the symptoms I had was this eye twitch. And one of the guys in this ex-vegan story was like talking about eye twitching. And he was like, talking about how, hey, you might be overlooking this little symptom as small as an eye twitch, but you need to pay attention to it. And yeah, my eye was just twitching for like a day and a half. And I remember laying there one night just in bed, just really couldn't get up, and I ordered some food. And I ordered a bacon cheeseburger, and it came, I could barely get up to get to the door, just so tired. And it came, and I ate it without the bun, and I was able to just immediately get up out of bed. Like, it gave me energy. And I was really surprised at that. And then I put it together with the eye twitching, and I'm like, I need to eat more meat. My diet. There's something wrong with this veganism. It's not healthy. People are not thriving. So I went to my mom's house and I ate one rare grass-fed hamburger patty. Eye twitch gone. Immediately gone. And I felt just amazing. And every day, it's like I've been waking up and I can see improvements every day, either in my face or my eyes or my body. I feel just this layer of flabbiness. Even though the scale hasn't changed, it's like the composition of my body is less flabby with just eating meat. And now I've started exercising again. And today I did over 200 squats in increments of 25. But it didn't bother me. You know, I have my body back again. And it feels just absolutely amazing. And I've had so many improvements. I wrote them down. My skin is softer. I have just energy after I eat. I can get up right from a meal and do the washing up. I can just power on through my day without even that struggle. I have energy. Like I say, I'm very organized now. It's easier to organize. It's easier to make videos. It's easier to focus. It's easier to be motivated. I feel more optimistic. I feel more sociable. I feel more confident. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I have more strength in the gym. My nails are the strongest they've ever been. I cried the other day when I realized that I have never, and I don't recall ever feeling my nails being this strong before. I've never been able to grow them out this long because they were so weak and they would flake off or they would break, guaranteed, and then I'd have to cut them all off. So I never bothered to grow my nails out at all. So just to have this kind of strength in my fingernails, it just blows my mind. I'm so happy about it. A lot more of a libido. It's really crazy how much that has just increased with just eating meat. It's like the interest in sex is more arousable. It's wonderful because it's a natural diet. And I'm noticing that my hair is growing a lot faster. So I've had a lot of benefit from it. And like I say, the energy is just more than I could even dream. Like it's 2 a.m. now. Oh, good. So over the years with my vegan friends, I've noticed that they have a lot of brain fog. They have a hard time keeping up with things. They have a hard time rationalizing things or making sense of things. And their energy is just down. They have a hard time with depression. I've seen it all. I've seen the blood sugar, all of that in my friends. Of course, everyone has to wake up in their own time. And I was, ready to wake up. And maybe one day this will hit you and it'll all make sense for you and you'll wake up. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But this is, my truth. And, thank everyone that shared their truth because it helped me to hear all of these ex-vegan stories. And I'll put a link to Svetia's channel so that you can look at those too. And maybe, you can put some things together and see what all the hype is about. there's a lot of ex-vegans coming out because I think we're all starting to feel the effects, of not having meat. And, I didn't have meat, like red meat, for a long time, but eating the chicken and the fish kept me going along and along and along for nearly, 20 years? But I just think about what could I have accomplished had I been on the right diet a long time ago. So, I am grateful to veganism for showing me that we definitely need to care about the animals. We definitely need to care about where our food comes from. I do not support these big farms that are just being abusive to animals. I think people that abuse animals ought to be lined up and shot. But I recognize that I, as a human, and I believe that all humans need meat because there are just nutrients that you can't get from plants. And the plants actually get inside of us and attack us. So they're not our friends. And I'm realizing that these grains and plants and shit, that's just peasant food. And that the real luxury is sitting down, eating a rare ribeye, grass-fed. You know that cow had a good life. That's what I'm finding just the most benefit from, is eating this grass-fed meat. If you're eating grain meat, you might as well just be eating the fucking grains. But eating a cow that's had its natural diet, it's perfect. I don't see myself as anything but a human animal. Just like the lion has to kill to survive, that's the same with humans. It's how we evolved. That's why we're all here. Because we ate animals. It's necessary. And that's my view on that. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate you listening to my story. I hope this helps people that weren't vegan but just low meat like me, because I don't hear a lot of this, and I think it's a very important thing to talk about, because you don't even have to be a vegan to feel the effects of veganism, the negative effects of veganism. So anyway, thank you to everyone who has done this work. Thank you to all the animals. I know animals don't watch YouTube videos. I have to remind vegans of that. They're not people. We're not on the same level as animals. I am not on the same level as a cow. I'm above the cow. Yeah. And the reason humans are able to kill animals is because we have hands that can make tools. And you say we have herbivore teeth? I bet you I could bite a chunk out of you. Without even trying. I'm pretty sure I could get a freaking chunk out of you. So, we're meat eaters. And I'm really okay with that. It's a circle of life. My cat is a killer. Sometimes he kills just for fun. Doesn't even eat him. So, I'm a part of that system, and I'm okay with that. I'd like to thank 3 donators for making this video possible. Thank you, David. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you, Cynthia. Thank you guys for holding it down. And I want to say also thank you to my Patreon. Thank you guys for your continued support. I'm going to do better. I really am. This diet is helping me perform, feel a lot sharper. I think you're going to like what you see here. So please continue to stick with me, and I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you soon.